the last 18 months, the appreciates called about another, like, hey, we got this nursing home company. And I was like, okay, good, great. We had this other one before, and we still don't have anything for you. Now we have something for them, whether it's Occupational or corporate wellness, depends on that first meeting. But just kind of talk about how you initially meet with some of these influencers and have these early conversations that at least take the conversation to the next part. It's a little different than what Carlisle has done.
Okay. So one of the things is, last night we talked about contract service concavity perspective, and that's probably one of my favorite takeaways from that, I guess. And being able to look at this, because it's not impossible, because it's just happening. And it's going to keep happening because our perspective is changing, and everybody's all of a sudden seeing little doorways into these companies that have big bad problems, or they just want to create a healthy environment in their business. So as far as how to start having these relationships, you have to understand their perspective. Like, you have to understand their backing, or that they're having a work comp problem. And some companies have this big, hairy, badass work comp problem that's costing them $8 million a year. And you can save them $4 million a year of that. So that's cool. But some people, I went and talked to a conference, it's a lot like the Pro Ready Mix company. And so they're very similar, but they have zero work comp problem in the HR manager's mind. She just wants to make this a better environment for the employees. They don't even have a retention of employees problem. They have 450 employees. They're in 4 states. And so all she wants to do is she has this desire to build this cool-ass wellness program for these fat-ass truck drivers. But she has to inspire them too. And how do you do that, right? You can't go in there and just say, check the box, whatever. So it's more about that struggle that she's having. Number one, she's right now in the middle of rolling out the new health plan for the year, the open enrollment, and then at the end of that, then her goal is to literally go through and build the wellness. She was hired 2 years ago, and she's struggling because she doesn't have the manpower to be able to go out and give these presentations. She's one person versus 450. Now all of a sudden you have a health service group of clinics that do the same thing in their clinics, that talk about HRAs, because we do it on every single patient. And so then you're able to pull off on your Thursday morning and go over and help her do those presentations. Travel 45 minutes, and she's riding with you, and you're building this relationship, this friendship, to be able to help this company that has this thing that they want to create. Building vision together is super important. And while I'm talking to her, so I've heard a lot about SHRM, and you had talked about SHRM and this the HR group. And does anybody know what SHRM is? Raise your hand. You do now. Everybody raise your hand. Come on. All right. So SHRM is a Society for HR Management, and what it is it's a national accreditation, and all these HR people, so as far as what it does, they speak the same. They meet every month, meet every other month, and they're looking for speakers all the time. She was the president of it. And then she got me in touch with the current president of it. Then I sent over, or I'm doing a presentation to all these HR directors in the Black Hills. We have, I think it was 28 that are coming on Tuesday this week, that we have to create this culture shift for all these HR people, because they're dying. They don't know how to create this. And so then we have to be able to help them with that. And so there's nobody out there that can do what we do or the way we do it, or reach as far as we can. Another relationship was I went to college there and was in anatomy with this girl named Julie, and she graduated, she was top of our class, and then she just started becoming a mom and started working as the safety person for this company, and it turns out to be this ready mix and other concrete and mining company, and they're self-insured, so these are key words, by the way, self-insured versus not, or premium-based, and so they're putting their own money, like where their mouth is, with their personal health insurance and their work comp. And so she's like, I got these problems, and I'm like, oh really? talk to me, tell me some more. And I've been talking to her, literally, I kid you not, for 2.5 years about this. And I finally had a presentation with Dr. Donkin, a couple of people, and then I invited the biggest employers that I could find in Rapid City. These 2,000 employees, 500 big companies to be able to come to this. And right now, we're sitting at 100% of them wanting to do something. Is that cool? So she hands me, so I go in, Julie, I'm like, Julie, what kind of problem do you have? She goes, Bob, it's huge. And she hands me these papers. It's literally around $8 million worth of work comp. She's having her scorecard, which your scorecard is your moderate. Has anybody heard of that? Probably 5, 6 people. So moderate is your scorecard to be able to figure out if you're a high-risk employer or a low-risk employer. If you're a normal one, you're a 1. If you're above 1, you're 1.4. That's bad. Like your premium goes up even more, almost exponentially. And so they're sitting at, in one state, their premium was at $400,000 just for the premium. Okay. And so what's happening is it went up, and then all of a sudden it's 600,000, and right now it bumped up to 1.4. Everybody, it really is. So that's 1.4. It's going to be literally about 1.1 or 1.2 million dollars. They're in 7 states, and this is one of them. So that's one of the problems. Just starting to be able to talk this language, because you won't know it right away. But I am giving you guys like the moderates, the self-insured, the premium base, and then know their key value. Because if I would have went in there talking to Julie about wellness programs, she'd totally ignore me. Because they've got a wellness program, they've got a company that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it, but they're bleeding money in work comp. If you walk to the Bankers Association and tell them, oh, let's figure out what your work comp is, all those types of things, they want to be able, or it would have been the worst thing you could have done. So, and then